Well, hey, howdy, hey, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's special Christmas edition video. Now, pardon that I'm slightly under the weather at the moment, but I figured this video has to be uploaded regardless, and I think you guys will enjoy it as well. Now, before we get into today's video, I would like to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas and enjoy this Christmas poem reading. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the herp house not a creature was chirping, no cricket, no mouse. The plants were all placed in the cages with care, in hopes that St. Gucci would surely be there. The baby sulcatas all snug in their beds, while visions of leafy greens danced in their heads. And with Blaze in his hide and Fuego in a gap, all the reptiles asleep for a long winter's nap. When up on the shelf there arose such a clatter, the isopods scurried to see what was the matter. To the tank's edge fruit flies climbed in a flash, and the dart frogs all hopped with a leap and a splash. The twinkling of lights, red, green, blue, and some gold, gave a feeling of warmth to reptiles so cold. When what should be heard through the milky frog's bellows but the jingling of a sleigh pulled by 8 crested geckos. With a little plump driver, so big-eyed and poochy, I knew in a moment it must be St. Gucci. More swifter than snakes, her coursers they came, as she puffed up and wiggled and called them by name. Now Rusty, now Phantom, now Apollo and Zilla, on Messi, on Timmy, Chicken Nugget and Bertha, to the top of the hides, to the top of the wall. Now climb away, climb away, climb away all. As rats before snakes all run in a hurry, and Pyrotoad's subcount climbs with the fury, right into the snow fluff and stopping at blue, with a sleigh full of treats and St. Gucci too. And then in a twinkling it was heard on top, a few faint gecko steps, and one great big old plop. Houdini drew in his head and was slithering around, when down the shelf racks St. Gucci came with a bound. She was dressed up in a Santa suit so small that it hurt, and her skin was all covered with springtails and dirt. A bundle of bugs she had in a small sack, and she struggled a bit to keep her acting intact. Her eyes, how they blackened, her warts so tumorous, her cheeks were like poison puffs, and her spots were quite numerous. Her mouth, how it drooped from one gland to the other, with a face that only could be loved by the mother. A stump where a tail was brought up her big rear, and her stubby little fingers made the sleigh hard to steer. She had a broad face and a low-hanging belly that dragged when she walked, and she seemed a bit smelly. She was chubby and plump, a right jolly amphibian, but the others all knew she was the queen of the reptarium. A wink of her eye and a pawing at her head soon led me to know that she was eating her shed. She spoke not a croak, but went straight to her work, leaving bugs in each cage, and then turned with a jerk. She wiggled her stump rump and clawed at her nose. Then giving a nod, up the shelf rack she rose. She hopped to her sleigh, to her team gave a tongue flick. Then away they all went, quite able, quite slick. But I heard her exclaim as she left with her load, "Merry Christmas to all, and subscribe to Pyrotoad." Well, y'all, that was the reading of the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas Reptile Edition poem or book. Now, I would like to wish you and your family, and if you have reptiles, and your reptiles, a Merry Christmas before we end today's video. Now, obviously, my animals are going to be tucked in after that entire story, and they are going to be settling down for a long winter's nap. So with that being said, Merry Christmas to you guys, and hey, like Gucci said, subscribe to Pyrotoad. In today's video, we're gonna. What else should I say?
Just say, I hope you and your family are safe and happy.
That's cheesy. Well, hey, howdy, hey, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning